I was in Berlin for an art residency when my parents sold my studio to fund my brother's startup, and by the time I got back, scaffolding wrapped the building like a cage and my walls were already being torn apart. "You can create anywhere," my mother said. I smiled. "What's funny?" she snapped. I said quietly, "The studio you sold was actually..." And that's when everything broke. My name is Ava. I'm 32, and for most of my adult life, my address was a third-floor loft in an old factory building that used to smell like rust and damp concrete before the city decided it was charming. The alleyways got string lights, the warehouses became galleries, and suddenly everyone wanted a piece of it. But that place wasn't a trend to me. It was a scar and a sanctuary. It belonged to my grandfather before it belonged to me. He was a painter. The kind who didn't rush, didn't chase approval, didn't need noise to feel important. After my grandmother passed away, he raised me while my parents stayed busy being distant outlines in my life. He taught me how to stretch canvas until it felt alive under my hands. He taught me that silence could be powerful if you knew how to hold it. He taught me to stare at empty space until it stopped feeling empty. When he died, he left me that loft. Not because it was valuable back then, but because it was mine. And in my family, mine usually came with an expiration date. My younger brother Ethan was always the future. Always one deal away, one investor away, one breakthrough away. My parents spoke about him like success was guaranteed, like the world was just waiting for him to arrive. Me, I was the unpredictable one, the creative one. My success was treated like a coincidence that lasted longer than expected. My exhibitions were nice. My work was interesting. Never essential. Never something they respected. Still, I played my role. I worked, I earned, I helped when they needed it. I didn't ask for much. Being useful was how I stayed included. Berlin broke that pattern. For 3 months, I wasn't someone's backup plan. I wasn't the reliable one they called when things went wrong. I was just me, anonymous, free. I painted until my hands hurt and my chest felt open in a way it hadn't in years. I started a series I had been avoiding for so long, work about inheritance, about being valued only when convenient, about spaces that remember what people try to forget. I came back with charcoal under my nails and a quiet, fragile kind of hope. The moment my cab turned onto my street, something felt wrong. The building was wrapped in scaffolding, metal and netting stretching across it like it was being prepared for demolition. Workers moved around like they belonged there. A dumpster sat outside filled with broken drywall and splintered wood. I got out before the car even fully stopped. Inside, the hallway felt stripped down to its bones. Mailboxes gone, walls scraped raw, the air thick with dust. It didn't feel like home anymore. It felt like something being erased. A man with a tablet asked if I needed help. I told him my unit number. He checked and said, "Yeah, that one, full renovation. New owners started demolition yesterday. Your belongings were moved to storage." New owners. "I didn't sell anything," I said. He gave me a look that wasn't unkind, just final. "I just follow the schedule, ma'am." My phone buzzed. "Don't overreact. We made a smart decision. Ethan needed capital. You can create anywhere." I read it twice. Then I called. My dad answered like it was a normal day. I asked him directly if they sold my studio. There was a pause, but not the kind filled with guilt. The kind filled with annoyance. "It was an investment," he said. "For the family." "For Ethan," I replied. "Don't do that," he warned. My mom cut in, calm and sharp. "You're overreacting. You'll be fine. You always are. You can create anywhere." I heard Ethan laughing in the background. That sound did something to me. "Put him on," I said. When he picked up, he sounded impatient. "I didn't want you to find out like this," he said. "Like what?" I asked, with my life in a dumpster. "I needed liquidity," he said, like he was reading from a pitch. "Timing mattered. It's not personal." "It's my grandfather's place," I said. "It's a room," he corrected. "And you don't even use it efficiently. I'm building something real. Investors don't wait for emotions." I waited for someone to tell him to stop. No one did. I hung up. That night I didn't cry. I couldn't. Anger held me steady. I called a lawyer the next morning. Not a friend, not someone who would comfort me, someone who dealt in facts. I sent her everything. In her office, she read through the documents slowly, carefully. Then she looked up. "There's a problem with this sale," she said. "What kind of problem?" I asked. "They didn't actually sell what they think they sold." She explained that my grandfather had structured the ownership in a way that separated the building from the interior space. The exterior could be sold. The shell could change hands. But the studio itself, the interior rights, still legally belonged to me. "They couldn't sell that without you," she said. Then she showed me the paperwork. My signature was on it. Not mine, but close enough. Attached was a statement describing me as unstable, incapable, someone who couldn't manage her own assets. I felt something inside me go cold. "They didn't just take it," I said. "They tried to erase me." She nodded, and that changes everything. We filed an emergency order that same day. Stop work, fraud claims, legal notice that the part they were demolishing didn't belong to them. My phone started ringing nonstop. I didn't answer. 2 days later, they showed up. My mom walked in without knocking. My dad stayed behind her. Ethan looked like he hadn't slept. "You look terrible," my mom said. "Thanks," I replied. "We need to talk," she said. "You forged my signature," I said. My dad flinched. Ethan looked away. My mom didn't react. "We did what we had to do," she said. "For Ethan," I replied. "For the family," she corrected. Ethan stepped forward, voice tight. "This is affecting my investors," he said. "You need to stop this." "My life is in storage," I said. "But sure, let's focus on your investors." "Stop being emotional," he snapped. "We'll get you another place, something better." "A replacement," I said, "like you can replace history." My mom sighed. "You're too sentimental, that's your problem. You can create anywhere." That's when something inside me settled. They weren't sorry. They believed they were right. My lawyer told me to meet them at the building. Not for closure. For truth. Standing under the scaffolding, everything felt unreal. The netting moved in the wind like it was trying to hide something. My mom looked at the building and said, "You should be grateful. This is progress." Ethan looked at me, stressed, desperate. "Just call it off," he said. "We can fix this." My mom repeated it again. "You can create anywhere." I smiled. "What's funny?" Ethan asked. I looked at them calmly. "The studio you sold was never yours to sell." My lawyer stepped forward and explained everything. The ownership, the invalid sale, the legal consequences. Silence. Then panic. My mom started yelling. Ethan started begging. My dad looked like he didn't know where to stand. They told me I was ruining everything, that I was selfish, that I owed them. I said nothing. I let the silence do the work. The court sided with me. Construction stopped. The sale was partially reversed. The forgery became a legal case of its own. Ethan lost his investors. My parents finally faced consequences they couldn't control. A few days later, I went to the storage unit. My life was stacked in boxes. My grandfather's old stool sat in the corner, scratched and worn. I ran my hand over it, and something in me finally softened. Not into grief. Into clarity. They hadn't destroyed me. They had exposed the truth. I was never family the way I thought I was. I was useful. And when I stopped being useful, they tried to replace me. When I walked back into my studio, it was damaged but still there. The light still came through the windows the same way it always had. I stood there for a long moment. Then I picked up a piece of charcoal. And I started again. Not for them. Not to prove anything. But because for the first time in my life, I didn't need their approval to exist. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments because I'd love to hear what you think.